Welcome to Circle C Farm Virtual School, where I kind of go over some things where people have questions about. If you have questions, you can email back on this email with your questions or something that you would like to see in a video. But remember the last email, which was yesterday, that I talked about the meat and sometimes having a pinhole in it. And if you put it in the refrigerator without a bowl or a plate, that it's going to go all over. And sometimes there are pinholes. Sometimes if you have a bone-in, which this is a bone-in, that you will get a pinhole. So it's okay. And there's okay if there is juices, because you definitely want juices. Okay, so I've unpackaged it and I've got my butter, which is our Insignia butter. Not ours, but it's what we sell. It's the is Designy, Puree Designy. I'm not French. Sorry. That's all my knife marks. But this is the butter we use. This is the salted butter, so it has those granules, slight granules. If you want something with a lot of the sea salt in it, you definitely want to do the purchase the log that we sell. All right, so I put the butter in there. Now I have it at about 4.5. I am doing today a beef shank ossobuco. This is a steak style cut. My Lila my sister's mother-in-law said it's great in a crock pot, but I am going to do it on the stove because I'm not really a crock pot whiz. One day I'll get to it, but I'm really boring, so it's normally either the stove or it's the oven. So today I wanted to talk about the fact that sometimes you're going to have some different the variation in color. That's the word I'm looking for. It's okay. It's okay to have the slightly brown meat. You're going to find that in a ground. You're going to find that in pretty much any meat, like a stew meat. Now, obviously, if it was a concern, I wouldn't be eating it. So it is okay. Air can get sometimes trapped in the cryovac, or too much air gets sucked out, and that's the variation. Remember, at Circle C Farm, we don't use preservatives, dyes. We don't color our meat. We don't give our animals any dyes or any food that would color any type of meat. We don't have nitrates in them, nitrites. We don't gas. So this is a true piece of beef shank ossobuco steak style cut. This is what you're going to get. So this happens sometimes. It's not all the time, but it was completely frozen and I put it in the refrigerator. I think today is day 3 in the fridge. I've let it sit for a little bit. It's not as normally you let it sit for a good 10 minutes. You don't want to shock it when it gets on the in the pan. So it's kind of like you jumping into a pool and it's really cold. Yeah. So that's kind of how it is. You're like, whoa. So, all right, hang on with me and I will season it and be right back. Okay, so I've seasoned my beef steak, my ossobuco, and I put butter on it. I like to do that. And I'll throw this. That's a piece of butter. It's ready. So I know you're looking at that green stuff saying, what in the world is it? But that's actually moringa. It is crushed moringa, and it is so good for you. And I put all the health benefits. It doesn't have a taste, so you can put it in oatmeal, you can put it in your smoothies, but this is always great to have. Just like a little teaspoon a day is all you need. It's not that big of a deal, but I put it on here because I totally forget to put it in my oatmeal or my smoothies. So I just use on mine, you can use whatever seasoning you want. My seasoning is basically oops, I have stuff on my fingers, sorry. My seasoning is something that Manny made, and I'm like super loving it. It's just all kinds of spices. So it's not chives. We repurpose these. So Anyway, so you know what? We're ready. So I'm just gonna grab this baby and I'm gonna put it in my my buttered pan. Let it sizzle there. Ooh, I love the sound of sizzle, sizzle. All right, so like I said, I've got it at about 4. I'm gonna give it just a minute here, and then I'm gonna cover it. Now you really wanna stay on a 4. But your most important thing is that you wanna cook the steaks slow. That's got some great marbling in it. All of our beef and our lamb, grass-fed, grass-finished. So it's a great, healthy steak. So I let this sit for a little bit out of the refrigerator while I've been talking to you. So probably about 7 or so minutes, 7 to 10 minutes. So I'm just going to go ahead and let that cook there. I might turn it down just a little bit, just down to like that 4, and go ahead and cover it. Yes, I know. I broke my lid, and so I'm lazy and I didn't get another one. So I'm just gonna go ahead and set this over it and leave it. So let's see how it turns out. Remember, you only want to flip your steak once, okay? So still letting it cook, and I'm on 4, and it's probably been about 3 minutes or so. And we're flipped. Oh my gosh, that looks so gorgeous. So while that was cooking on the other side, I went ahead and made a salad. I'm pretty easygoing, so I just do like a salad and steak. Obviously, you can do anything you want. So we're kind of focusing on the steak right now. And that kind of just passed the time instead of staring at the steak and waiting for it to cook, because I'm really hungry right now. Oh, I did sneak in some garlic too. I love garlic, and garlic is so good for you. All right, still on 4 and still waiting. The finished product coming up. So there she is. All completed, can't wait. And it was smooth as butter to cook. So nice medium rare, which is how I like it. So thoroughly excited and ready to eat it. So there you go. There's your lesson on coloring of the beef, and just a quick how to cook right on the stove. It even has some sear on it, and it's super juicy and tender and a nice medium rare. All right, hope you enjoyed. Bon appetit.